The year 1840 found all the Brontes living at home. Tabitha Aykroyd had been ill, and the sexton's 12-year-old daughter Martha Brown had been brought in to help. It meant more housework for Charlotte, Emily and Anne, but I'm much happier, Charlotte said, blackleading the stoves, making the beds and sweeping the floor at home, than I should be living like a lady anywhere else. She was looking forward to showing off her prowess to a visitor. Mr. Bronte's sight was rapidly worsening, and when the girls were busy, Aunt Branwell read the newspapers to him.
The Queen, who appeared perfectly cool and not in the least alarmed, instantly drove to the Duchess of Kent's.
I'm just going as far as the Black Bull to meet her, Father.
Meet whom, madam?
You can't have forgotten that Mary Taylor's coming to stay.
Ah, your little radical friend, the pretty Republican.
A very loving one.
Rather outspoken, and with unsound notions, but in other ways most pleasing. When she was here before, Branwell was quite taken with her. I told her when she left she had made a conquest.
Matchmaking, Aunt? That will never do.
Branwell has to find a means of livelihood before he looks for a wife. And that seems more unlikely as the months go by. And perhaps your Mary Taylor will be able to put some determination into him.
Perhaps she will.
When I was here 2 years ago, Branwell was just about to set up as a portrait painter in Bradford. Did it come to nothing?
It came to a portrait of his godfather. 2 vicars, his landlord and wife and their daughter. That seems to bring to an end the Bradfordians who care to be immortalised.
Poor Branwell. How old is he now? 23?
And 1 month.
He has time to persevere.
I'm not sure that the word is in his vocabulary. Still, I sometimes remind myself that the Duke of Wellington was 39 before he had his first command. Meanwhile, we must manage. He asks you to excuse him for not being here to welcome you. He's gone to Bradford for a night. The Choral Society are giving the Messiah, which he insists is all he will ever know of heaven. He'll be home tomorrow.
Good day, Mom.
I'll tell you who I come back to Bradford to see as much as any of you. Myself. God damn it, I come to life here. You strike sparks out of me.
Glad to be of use. We've missed you, my dear fellow, though I must say I've got more sculpture done without your beguiling thirst for sociability.
Leyland, it's hideous to be alone. You haunt yourself.
That may be, but I find a chisel and a lump of marble a good exorcist.
Oh, very well. You have commissions to spur you on and at least 2 masterpieces behind you.
Do you think you got them out of the air? You're too easily discouraged, Bronte. And if I may pontificate a little, you balk at the drudgery of getting your hand in.
Nothing comes of drudgery but black depression.
I wish we could acclimatize you to the Middle Earth instead of the extremes of paradise and hell.
I saw your landlady in the street the other day. She says you haven't finished the pictures you were doing for her as payment of rent.
What a lie! I said if I ever went back to lodge there, I'd varnish a couple for her. If I had any money, I'd pay you to do it, Thompson. Now stop at chattering. Well, I'm only here as it is on charity from my father.
Excuse me. Not mistaken, am I? Mr. Bronte, didn't we meet 3 or 4 years ago? Castle Tavern? Wolven, my name. Remember?
Yes, I do. The prophet of the age of steam, of course.
Here's a young one. Knows what it's about. Frank Grundy, engineer on the new Leeds to Bradford line.
How do you do? Mr. Leyland, Mr. Thompson.
How do you do? Mr. Thompson?
How do you do? Aye, I were preaching the gospel to them till the night. Art is going under the wheels of the machine. This Frenchman, Daguerre, taking a likeness onto silvered copper. Why go to the trouble of paint and canvas now, eh?
So you think in future all silk purses will be made out of engineers?
Mock on, you unbeliever.
What place would there be for a man like me on the railways?
Well, to come in on the ground floor. Every time there's a new station to be opened, there's a clerkship to be had. Not a munificent salary, but then not so time-consuming that you couldn't write your masterpieces too. And then, of course, with limitless development ahead, also no bounds to the possibility of advancement.
From one station to another, the length and breadth of the kingdom.
But at least with some money to call my own.
And since you wanted to know everything that's happened, Polly, you shall hear of my proposal of marriage.
Charlotte! Now this is something like a conversation. And you're not even blushing.
I'm certainly not. Though even now I feel like laughing. It was last August. An old friend of Papa's came over for the day, bringing his curate, a young Irishman fresh from Dublin University. He made us laugh a good deal, though I didn't quite relish his Hibernian vein of flattery. Then off they went, and no more was thought about them. But a few days later, I got a letter. An ardent proposal that he should become my husband.
Well, I've heard of love at first sight, but this beats all.
Well, it's hardly like one of my adventures, is it?
And you don't regret refusing him?
Goodness gracious! If ever I married, which it certainly isn't my doom to do, it would never be to a curate.
I believe that if ever there were a convocation of curates, Charlotte would like to play Guy Fawkes and blow them all sky high. There was a curate in my railway carriage. He overheard something I said about the Tithe Act, which made him doubtful of my conformity. So, after calling me his dear child, he asked me what religion I was of. I told him. I thought that to be a matter which only concerned oneself and God.
That's right.
In my experience, in general, they're the silliest, most pig-headed, most conceited tribe that have ever come my way.
But in particular, you would accept Mr. Waitman from that conclusion.
Yes, I would. In spite of his weak points, he shall always find in me a defender rather than an accuser. Dear Miss Celia Amelia.
Celia Amelia? Whom are we talking of?
Shh. I only call him that because of his auburn curls and his way of blushing. He's Papa's young curate, as good-humoured and as pleasant a young man as ever fluttered the gritty hearts of Haworth. He's perfectly conscious of his irresistibleness, and I'm not surprised.
I'm quite impatient to meet this Mr. Waitman.
Well, as long as we don't have to number you among his victims.
Oh, Charlotte, it's unfair and unkind.
Your impatience is rewarded. Here he is. I thought we should see him when he heard we had a young lady visitor.
Don't listen to Charlotte. He is just as likely to have come to see Papa. Charlotte should also have told you that Papa says he has never been given such devoted help in the parish before.
Oh, yes. No one's altogether immune. I'm sure Aunt Branwell thinks she's almost back in Penzance.
Am I an intruder?
Not culpably. Are you looking for Papa?
Not immediately. I was going to ask if you'd like me to take your Sunday school class tomorrow, as I heard you had a visitor.
And here she is. Polly, this is Mr. Waitman, Miss Mary Taylor.
I'm glad you chose to come now, Miss Taylor. In 2 weeks I go to Ripon to take my final examinations, and you would have come and gone without my meeting you. But now I shall do all the better for having had the pleasure.
The housekeeping bill for salt has perceptibly risen since Mr. Waitman came. We have to use so many extra grains to take with his compliments. And how would you explain the fact that 3 Valentine poems have arrived in this house where never a Valentine ventured before, and all mysteriously posted in Bradford?
The coincidence is that I received one too before that day out. I carry it with me here next to my heart. Though in fact the words are engraved upon it. A Roland for an Oliver we think you've justly earned. You sent us each a Valentine, your gift is now returned. We cannot write or talk like you, we are plain folks every one. You played a clever jest on us, we thank you for your fun. The verse is very unjustly phrased, but the next improves.
Well, you don't improve, reciting your own praises.
Why don't you let Keeper find his own exercise for a while? You're being rather unsociable.
Am I? I'm sorry.
Where is Emily taking us?
To Sladen Beck, I think. To the fall she calls the meeting of the waters.
We haven't had one of our conversations. Do you remember when I was last here, what conversations we had? I'd never met anyone who could talk so well. We were enough of one mind not to fall out, with enough difference to make it exciting. Did you miss them after I'd gone?
Yes. Yes, I imagine I did. We'd better get on. Emily will be getting impatient.
Niagara Falls. You're being such a missy. Branwell, I need a protecting hand.
Helpless women.
Keep him at home. What do you think Aunt Branwell would say? Who cares? She wouldn't want a death on her conscience, and he'll die if we leave him here. Come on, my little gypsy orphan. We'll look after you.
Charlotte, do you know if I've said something to offend Branwell? We were such good friends when I was here before, but today...
Oh, I'm sure you haven't offended him. I'll come up in a moment.
Pass me some of that raw mince, will you, Martha? I'll see if I can tempt him.
Emily, your hand. It's covered in blood. That bird's been savaging you.
Of course he has, poor Scrap. He put up a brave fight against the giant who was carrying him off. I shall call him Hero.
Oh, you're the one who's the hero. He was pecking at you all the way home and you didn't give a sound.
This was the best I could find. You must learn to trust us. You would have starved, you know, out there alone on the moors. I'm afraid very soon we're going to have to feed him on mice.
Mice? What have you got there, Emily?
It's a young hawk, Aunt, a wild little orphan.
No.
I brought him to live.
Emily? Really, I can't have it. Cats, geese, pheasants, canaries, and the dog leapt to roam the house like a human being. He was found lying on your bed. No one dare approach him. Oh, we might as well be living in a jungle.
Or the Garden of Eden.
Hawk. It's really... Look, child, what it's done to your hand.
It's nothing, Aunt. It will soon heal if I rub in some spit.
Emily, Emily, I don't like to hear you use that ugly word.
Spit, Aunt. Oh, what's the alternative?
I've applied for a post with the Leeds and Manchester Railroad.
Have you now?
Assistant clerk in charge of Sowerby Bridge Station. Plenty of opportunities, they say. And it's near enough to Halifax and Bradford to have some interest. There's no other way out of this fix that I can see. Wordsworth doesn't answer my letters. Neither does Blackwood's. If I take a drink or two to keep my pecker up, the family look at me as if I were a kind of ogre. Do you think I drink too much?
In your capacity as secretary of the Band of Hope, maybe you do.
I've been reading De Quincey, the opium eater. He says that whereas alcohol disorders the mind, opium gives it the most exquisite order and harmony. Where alcohol robs a man of his self-possession, opium sustains and reinforces it. Order and harmony. My God, they're things my life's in need of.
You have nothing to blame yourself for, Polly. I know how much Branwell likes you, only... Well, you're much more open and direct about your feelings than we are. And Branwell's so uncertain about his future. He may feel he has to protect himself from his own feelings as much as from yours. And a woman had better not be the first to reveal her warmth of liking. Oh, Polly, don't be sad.
Well, I won't be. But fair exchange, no desponding from you either. Why don't you join my brother and me when we go to Brussels?
Oh, impossible. Don't rouse my impatience with life, Polly. I must set about looking for another teaching post. Anne means to as well, though I wish I could dissuade her. But in her gentle way, she's almost as obstinate as Emily. Emily endured 6 months of hard labour at Miss Patchett's school, from 6 in the morning until near 11 at night, with only 1/2 hour of exercise in between. I believe she was punishing herself for getting ill at Roe Head.
Charlotte, it makes me so angry. When will civilization be tolerable for women? I'm resolved never to be a governess, a teacher, a milliner, a bonnet maker, or a housemaid. And if you ask what's left, I'll tell you a secret. I'm planning to emigrate to New Zealand with my younger brother, to set up a little business or a shop.
To New Zealand? But Polly...
It's no stranger than the places you go to in your mind. I have no mind to speak of, so I have to go somewhere real. Oh, Charlotte, promise me never to let circumstances make a slave of you.
Don't encourage the mutineer in me, Polly.
So I have written another letter to the Board of Health, pressing them again for a better water supply. The Haworth Spring runs at only 1 quart per minute. We should have 2 new springs, giving 16 gallons.
It's madness that the board won't listen.
And you know how that is? Each time they begin to stir, they get letters from my wealthy church members who have their own water supply, objecting to the move. It would mean a rise in their water rates.
A curious interpretation of if any provide not for his own, he hath denied the faith.
It's going to be a long, drawn-out battle.
But you're not the man to be beaten, Mr. Bronte.
Not if it takes me the rest of my life. There's too much illness in the village. The danger of typhus fever and cholera haunts me every time summer gives way to autumn. If you would take that to the post for me, I shall soon have to ask you to be my amanuensis, as well as my fellow labourer and a brotherly friend to my little family.
Are your eyes troubling you very much, sir?
I cannot take them for granted as I used to do. Come in.
My application has been accepted, Papa. Assistant clerk at Sowerby Bridge.
Well done.
Congratulations.
I get £18, 15 shillings a quarter, with £10 a year increase up to £105. I'm to start on October the 4th, the day before the station is officially opened.
Marco Polo Boanerges, off to the El Dorado of the Leeds and Manchester Railroad.
The snowdrops are out behind the peat house. I know. You will have the daffodils all to yourself. There may be many more where you're going. It's better to go away now than in winter. The strange place is friendlier in the spring.
Why can't we be of the stuff that governesses are made of?
I don't believe there ever was a born governess.
But who knows? You may find it pleasant at Upperwood House, Charlotte. And I am determined to be more successful at Thorpe Green than I was at Murfield.
Branwell's doing so well is a sign that we may. Papa says that being promoted to clerk in charge after only 5 months looks like getting on at any rate, even though Ludden Foot is a smaller station than Sowerby Bridge.
Yes, it looks like it. There are wild orchises on Hardcastle Crags.
Only we could have a school of our own and not be at the mercy of other people.
And be always together. Do you think we shall ever dare?
Why not? Now that Aunt Branwell has thoughts of lending us the capital, I don't expect it will be more than £150. I wonder if it would be possible to establish a respectable school on that amount.
I'm going up now, children. Don't stay up too late. You have a long journey, Anne, tomorrow, remember. You don't want to be too tired when you get to Thorpe Green.
No, Papa. I shall go to bed very soon.
Good night, children.
Good night, Papa.
God keep you safe.
Good night, Papa.
Wonder what I shall be feeling this time tomorrow.
Or I, a week from now at Upperwood House.
These are not thoughts to go to sleep with. Let's think of this day 4 years, when we may all be established to our heart's content in some pleasant and flourishing seminary of our own, with our debts paid off and cash in hand. It will be a fine, warm summer evening, very different from this bleak lookout. Let us hope either this or something better may be the case.
Time will show.
Setting out so early. Thank goodness I'm in time to say goodbye. These were grown by Slade and Beck. Something to bear you company.
Thank you.
Along with my thoughts, which will be travelling with you too.
Then they will pass mine on the road, for my thoughts all the time will be returning home. Goodbye, Mr. Wakeman.
Bronte?
Yes. Is Mrs. Robinson?
Will you come this way, miss?
Miss Bronte. How do you do? I hope we shall get on. These are my sisters, Miss Elizabeth and Miss Mary. This is my brother Edmund.
You're very small, Miss Bronte.
Mary, you mustn't make personal remarks.
But you must know she's very small.
The last one we had was very thin. We called her the lamppost.
Should I not perhaps first see Mrs. Robinson? Your mother will be waiting to
I
see
don't
me.
suppose so. I don't know what Mamma is doing, and Papa, as usual, is rather poorly. I imagine when she wants you, she'll send for you. Oh, I expect you'd like to go to your room. Elizabeth, show Miss Bronte her room.
Did you see her boots?
Don't be ill mannered.
No, but did you see them? Clump, 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 clump.
My luggage hasn't been brought. Oh, what am I supposed to do?
The mistress wants to know why you don't take any notice of the bell, miss.
But where am I to go?
Why, to the drawing room, miss. Where else?
Oh, there you are, Miss Bronte. I thought you were never coming. Hope you had a pleasant journey, Miss Bronte. I hear you've already made my children's acquaintance. They're very dear to me, you know. You must make them happy and instruct them well. Edmund is rather nervous and susceptible and needs the tenderest treatment. You will excuse my naming these things to you, for the fact is I have hitherto found all the governesses faulty in this particular. When any of the young people do anything improper, if gentle remonstrance will not do, let one of the others come and tell me, for I can speak to them more plainly than it would be proper for you to do. Mr. Robinson is an invalid and must not be troubled. Make them as happy as you can, Miss Bronte. I dare say you will do well.
All through the spring and into the summer, Charlotte and Anne endured their exiles as best they could. And on Emily's birthday, Emily and Anne took their desk boxes and each wrote a document to be opened and read on the same date in 3 years' time.
July the 30th, 1841. A paper to be opened when Anne is 25 years old, or my next birthday after, if all be well. 'Tis Friday evening, near 9 o'clock, wild rainy weather. I am seated in the dining room after having just concluded tidying our desk boxes. Papa's in the parlour, Aunt upstairs in her room. She has been reading Blackwood's magazine to Papa. Victoria and Adelaide are ensconced in the peat house, Keeper's in the kitchen, Hero in his cage. We are all stout and hearty, as I hope is the case with Charlotte, Branwell and Anne. I have a good deal of writing on hand, but I am sorry to say that, as usual, I make small progress with any of it. However, I've just made a new regularity paper, and I will to do great things. Now I close, sending from far an exhortation of courage. Courage. To exiled and harassed Anne, wishing she was here.
This is Emily's birthday. She has now completed her 23rd year. Charlotte is a governess in the family of Mr. White. Branwell is a clerk in the railroad station at London Foot, and I am governess in the family of Mr. Robinson. I dislike the situation and wish to change it for another.
Dearest Emily, Mary Taylor has written to me from Brussels, telling me of some of the pictures she has seen. Pictures the most exquisite, cathedrals the most venerable. I hardly know what swelled to my throat as I read her letter. Such a vehement impatience, such a strong wish for wings, wings such as wealth can furnish, such an urgent thirst to see, to know, to learn. These rebellious and absurd emotions were only momentary. I quelled them in 5 minutes. I hope they will not revive, for they were acutely painful.
My pupils are gone to bed, and I am hastening to finish this before I follow them. We are thinking of setting up a school of our own, but nothing definite is settled about it yet, and we do not know whether we shall be able to or not. I hope we shall. And I wonder what will be our condition, and how or where we shall all be on this day 4 years hence.
How little we know what we are. How less what we may be.
Harry Craven come off the 112, Mr. Bronte. He said not to trouble, but have he written a letter to Jim Darwin for him about the £3 he paid in court?
Yes, I have, and it's gone off. Oh, dear God. I've got to get some air into my lungs. Here, Walton. You're good at adding up. No train now until the 3:05. Keep you out of mischief to finish totting up for me. I'll just take a walk down to the village, clear my head a bit.
So much going on for a gentleman of education here, that's right, Mr. Bronte. I'll finish the totting.
Good man. Use your Sunday best penmanship.
Aye, and I'll wash my hands first, don't you bother. You're a bit of an artist to see, Mr. Bronte.
It's an aid to thought, Walton.
It's a darn fancy way of thinking, that's all I know.
You have a friend of mine in charge of the station here. The porter said he'd come up to the village on business. Have you seen him this afternoon?
Yes, dear. He's just gone upstairs to the circulating library. Well, there's no one here to drink with. He goes drastic after the books. It's a fever with him, you know. He comes down here sometimes like he were delirious.
Ah, well, you see, love, he's a genius. And that means he's either flying up to heaven or looking into hell. I've always liked scamps with brains, and he's a scamp with enough stock of brains for 6. I hope you're keeping him warm and nourished. Hmm?
He's shy, isn't he, dear? He signals come on and then ducks for cover. I wish he'd find a nice young... Well, look. Here's your friend now.
Grandy!
What are you doing here?
Well, I thought I'd look you up. I was just on my way. No, what are you drinking? A squib of rum, as you call it, eh? That's it, love. Well, what have you got there?
Percy's Anecdotes and the Relics.
Ah, the good old relics, eh? He lifted up the coverlid. He lifted up the sheet. How now? How now, thou little Musgrave? Dost find my gay lady sweet, eh? Come, let's make ourselves comfortable. Arise, arise, thou little Musgrave, and put thy clothes now on. It shall never be said in my country that I killed a naked man. Well, Bronte, tell me the worst. How are you surviving? I'm just on my way back to Halifax.
You old knave of trumps, it's good to see you. Oh, God, I need to take my mind off myself.
No feast of soul here, I'll be bound.
Well, there was a party of gentlemen here 4 days ago. They thought I was a doctor and put me in the chair. I gave them some stiff toast till they were all at each other's throats. I recommended bleeding, purging and blistering. But by then they were past any medical care. So I flung my tumbler on the floor too, and there was a regular rumpus. We were tamed at last, and I found myself in bed next morning with a bottle of porter, a glass and a corkscrew beside me.
Well, that's an amorous choice of bedmates, I must say.
Granny, I won't have any more of it. I'm in torment.
Now look here, old fellow. If you were to ask me for a diagnosis, well, I think I'd tell you you're suffering from an enlarged conscience. And cooped up here, well, you scrape on your nerves like a beggar on a fiddle. Do you ever get across to Haworth to see your family?
Yes, but I feel a Pharisee there. Well, that's where my reality is, the best memories. And yet when I go back, I'm a stranger to myself. My home is not my home.
Charlotte has written to me. She is full of a new plan, and really I don't know what to make of it. It was put into her head by her friend Mary Taylor, who is now in Brussels. She feels that before setting up a school, she should have some months on the continent.
On the continent? My goodness me.
I will read you what she says. My friends say, schools in England are so numerous that without some such step we shall have a very hard struggle and may fail in the end. I would go to Brussels, in Belgium. The cost of the journey there at the dearest rate of travelling would be £5. Living there is half as dear as in England, and the facilities for education are equal to any other place in Europe. If Emily could share these advantages with me, only for a single half year we could make a footing in the world afterwards, which we can never do now.
Emily too?
Depend upon it, £50 or £100, thus laid out, would be well employed. Of course, I know no other friend in the world to whom I could apply on this subject except yourself. I feel an absolute conviction that if this advantage were allowed us, it would be the making of us for life. Papa will perhaps think it a wild and ambitious scheme.
Very reasonably put.
But whoever rose in the world without ambition, when he left Ireland to go to Cambridge University, he was as ambitious as I am now.
Dear me, she has an aptitude for debate.
I know we have talents, and I want them to be turned to account. I look to you, Aunt, to help us. I know if you consent, it shall not be my fault if you ever repent your kindness.
My dear, I don't like these calls on your generosity.
Oh, well, you know, I had already put the money aside for the school, and if it is necessary... Continent. Really such a leap in the dark. We must give it very careful thought.
If it means the difference, as Charlotte thinks, between success and failure.
And now that Branwell is so well established.
Yeah.
I sat amid the bustle of a town-like room, 'neath skies with smoke-stained vapors, hid by windows, made to show their gloom. The desk that held my ledger book, beneath the thundering rattle, shook, of engine passing by. And the bustle of the approaching train was all I hoped to rouse the brain of stealthy apathy.
Young reverence in church this morning, sighing and looking out of the corner of his eye at Anne to win her attention. He would be the better for a comfortable wife to settle him. Perhaps Ellen Nussey. She would settle him, I believe. Nobody else could.
Don't mock him in front of Anne.
Why not?
Because it might distress her.
Aunt says good night. She's gone to bed. Have you been thinking any good things?
I've been thinking probable good things. About seeing London and what Brussels will hold for us. What is certainly good, now that Papa's agreed to travel with us, is that he at least will have attained his heart's desire when he stands on the battlefield at Waterloo. Once that seemed as far off to him as ours now seems to us. And you see how simply it's come about.
I'm on my way to bed now, girls. Don't stay up too late.
Not too late, Papa.
We must start the journey well rested. Good night.
Good night. Good night, Papa. How shall I sleep with the thoughts of the promised land in my head?
Jericho has to fall first before we get to the milk and honey.
But at least we've got to the mountain of Nebo. Oh, Anne. I wish you were coming with us. Or at least that you were happier at Thorpe Green.
I am a little happier. Anyway, I seem to suit them. Mrs. Robinson almost forgot to condescend when I hinted that I wanted to leave. It's nice to be wanted.
Oh, yes. If anybody likes me, I can't help liking them.
And then I think I am going to start a journey of my own.
What do you mean, Anne?
I'm going to try to write a book. Not a gondel book, a real novel. It's to be called Passages in the Life of an Individual.
Anne! You're stealing a march on us.
And you see, I should never get on with it if I were coming with you to your pensionnat de demoiselles.
On February the 8th, 1842, Charlotte and Emily set off with their father on their long journey to Belgium. They stayed for 2 or 3 days in London. Charlotte said it was prodigious the amount of life I lived on that first morning, and then crossed to Ostend on the steam packet. It was dark when they reached Brussels, and they waited until next day to present themselves at the Pensionnat Eger.
I will not subject you to my rusty French, madame, if you'll excuse me. It would be a poor way of thanking you for receiving my daughters into your school. Thank you.
Monsieur, your daughters are just of the kind we are most anxious to help. We were so struck by the simple, earnest tone of Mademoiselle Bronte's letter that we decided at once that they would be welcome. And I do hope they will quickly become at ease among us. Do you remain long in Bruxelles, Monsieur Bronte?
Only long enough to see the principal buildings and what I have long wished to see, the field of our victory at Waterloo.
Ah, your victory, monsieur, and my defeat. I am a Frenchwoman, you know. My father was an émigré during the Revolution, following in the wake of the Comte d'Artois. But my husband is the 3rd generation of his family to be born here. His great-grandfather came from the Rhineland. He asked me to give you his apologies. He is so sorry not to be here, monsieur, to meet you. But today, he's teaching at the Athénée Royal. Tomorrow, you will meet your daughters. He is a professor of rhetoric here.
Lorsqu'on est enfant, pour apprendre à parler, il faut entendre parler les autres.
He is professor of rhetoric, a man of power as to mind, but very choleric and irritable as to temperament. A black being with a face that varies in expression. Sometimes he borrows the lineaments of an insane tomcat, sometimes those of a delirious hyena. Occasionally, he assumes an air not above 100 degrees removed from mild and gentlemanlike.
Êtes-vous prête, mesdames?
No, monsieur. I understand you to say you will read us famous passages as models to improve our style.
En français, mademoiselle.
Excuse me, but I must first express myself in English. I can see no good in your plan, monsieur, because if we were to adopt it, we would lose all originality of expression.
Vous êtes ici pour apprendre ou pas? Il est impossible d'instruire des Anglaises. Elles sont aussi obstinées que des mulets. Et vous vous imitez toutes. Vous vous dites qu'est-ce que ça nous fait, ce vieux professeur, qu'il se lève tôt, qu'il se couche tard, qu'il passe toutes ses journées à se demander comment il peut nous aider. Quant à nous, nous n'allons pas nous déranger. C'est même amusant de le regarder se mettre en colère.
Mais non, monsieur, ce n'est pas vrai. Cela ne nous amuse pas.
Ce n'est pas gentil, ce que vous dites là, monsieur. Nous avons beaucoup de respect pour vous. Nous aimons vos leçons.
Mademoiselle, the way to find our true selves is sometimes through a knowledge of others, unlike ourselves. When we talk of this and come to understand each other.
Mr. Bronte, the total sum of the year's takings since your appointment here has been put into the bank.
Yes, indeed. I've taken it myself each Monday morning. Don't you find everything in order?
No, Mr. Bronte. There is a deficiency of £11, 1 shilling and 7 pence. Can you account for that?
A deficiency? No, I certainly can't account for it.
You understand that I shall have to report this to the company.
But it's impossible. How could it be lost?
That's what I'm asking you, Mr. Bronte.
What do you mean? Are you suggesting I've appropriated it? If so, I tell you that's the most monstrous accusation, and I'll thank you to apologize at once. The least sort of dishonesty is abominated in my family, loathed and abominated.
I'm not suggesting anything, Mr. Bronte, at the moment. I'm merely carrying out my duty, which is to see that the accounts are in order. At present, they are not. Have you at any time left the office unattended and unsecured?
No. When for any reason I've been called out, there's always been the porter.
The porter? You left the porter in charge? That may seem reasonable to you, Mr. Bronte. Your employers may not see it in the same light, or appreciate the pursuit of art in the company ledgers. However, it's not my place to comment on that.
Well, I'm glad you realize that at least. What's going to happen?
That, of course, will be decided by the directors of the Manchester and Leeds Railway. I can only report what I find, which is, if you'll excuse me, irregular.
Wetman? I would be glad of a word with you. You may have guessed what is concerning me.
Branwell, sir.
Has he spoken to you about his discharge from the railroad?
No, he seemed to be avoiding me, which I was sorry for.
He was accused, you know, of constant carelessness, and not suspected of the theft itself.
That would be out of the question.
The resulting mental depression has been so extreme these last weeks since he came home that I have almost feared for his sanity. Nothing that his aunt or I can say. He's very fond of his aunt, you know. Seemed to be of any help to him. His only alleviation, you must have noticed, was in stimulants, a temporary anesthesia which tortures him still further. My dear Waitman, you are like another son to me, and a brother to my children. Branwell has a great admiration for you. Give him all the time you can. He and I both need your help.
Most gladly, sir. I've been diffident about forcing myself on him, but when he's well, there's no better companion in the world than Branwell.
Yes, what is it?
May I come in? May I come in?
Am I interrupting your thoughts?
Waitman. I wish you could interrupt them. They're destroying me.
I was thinking at Matins what a difference it used to make when we had your touch on the organ. Your love of the music was contagious.
I can't help that. I just can't face sitting up there in front of them all.
I wasn't trying to persuade you. I just mean that you're missed.
You can never imagine, Waitman, what awful places there are in the mind.
Every substantial house has its cellars.
Waitman, I'd rather cut off my hand than live my time at London Foot again. The grovelling carelessness, cold-blooded debauchery of it. As if I were determined to find how far mind could carry body without both being chucked into hell. Lost as I was to all that I really cared for.
But you don't have to live it again, either in fact or in memory. It's no good hoarding it up in self-condemnation. Bring both your sorrow and the burden of it to God, and in him all things are made new.
Where do I find him? Nothing seems to mean anything. There was magic in the world once, but it's turned malignant. When I was a boy, I turned the evening star into my dead sister Maria. I spoke to her. Oh, the innocence and illusion of it all. That's what jeers at me here. I've destroyed the heart's first feelings.
If they were destroyed, they wouldn't give you so much pain. It's because of the good in you that the evil seems so overwhelming. Don't surrender to remorse, Branwell. Don't be defeated by memory. That's a sin worse than sinning.
It's like fighting the flood.
And the Spirit of God moved upon the waters, and God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. By the way, I said I'd do a bit of beating for the shoot on the moors this afternoon. Would you feel like joining me?
Willie, you do me good.
As a matter of fact, that's what I find you do me more often than not. Have you had any news of your sister Anne?
Aunt has yesterday. She's been with the Robinsons on their annual visit to Scarborough. She loved it. Though the time, she said, was not without its anxieties. Though what they were, she didn't explain.
We must wait as patiently as we can for the Christmas holidays. Dear Anne.
When you have come to your senses, you'll be sorry for the pain you're causing me. You'll live to thank me. One day when you're a mother yourself, you'll understand.
You shan't open my daughter's letters, that's certain. I won't be so vile. How dare you open my letters? How dare you? I shall run away. I won't be treated like a child.
But you are a child. You're not 17 yet, and you're behaving like a child of 12. Miss Bronte, I am horrified and shocked that you should have let this thing go on without telling me. I depended on you
It's
utterly.
nothing to do with her. She knows nothing about it. And neither would you if you hadn't been criminal.
How could you not suspect what was going on? Oh, this terrible thing. So much deceit. I'm heartbroken.
Mrs. Robinson, you must explain to me.
How could you not suspect? Even the other children. It was something Mary said that alerted me. And this morning I found these letters. Love letters from that young actor at the Scarborough Theatre, Henry Roxby. An actor, Miss Bronte, will you imagine? You must help me, Miss Bronte.
Lydia believes herself to be a young woman now, Mrs. Robinson, and altogether beyond listening to anything a governess may have to say. And you have always made it very clear that any discipline must come from you.
I know. You think I've loved them unwisely. Lydia's ingratitude is all the more hurtful. I have told her her allowance will be stopped if she communicates with that young man again. I rely on you, Miss Bronte, to see there is no subterfuge.
I will try to make her think more calmly and reasonably. But I am not willing to be a spy.
That's not it at all. We have to think of her happiness. She has to be guarded against herself. Oh, really, this is too much. I shall never have another moment's peace while the children are growing up. Mr. Robinson can be told nothing. It will kill him. I shall have to bear the whole dreadful anxiety alone. And Edmund will soon be of an age that needs a man's guidance.
Yes, I think that would be very sensible.
It's a risk to find someone suitable. One has to know the background, family.
Your brother's had experience as a tutor, has he not?
Branwell? Well, yes, Mrs. Robinson.
Do you think he would be willing to consider the post after the Christmas holidays?
I can ask him, of course. It might be an answer.
It's such a weight off my mind. Is all well at home?
No, Mrs. Robinson, all is not well. There is an outbreak of cholera in the village.
She behaved as though she were beside herself. No thought for anyone. So wounding after all my care for her.
Waitman. Get well. I need you. We all need you. Oh, get well, get well. Try, man, for all our sakes. You're the best friend I ever had.
Emily, we must go back to England.
Oh, yes. What is it, Charlotte? Is it Anne? I believe Willie Waitman's death will have been harder for her than for any of us.
No, it's not Anne. It's Aunt Branwell. She's gravely ill. You'll see what Papa says. We must hurry home. Branwell's been devoted and helpful, I'm glad to say. He scarcely leaves her.
Branwell loves her. And Charlotte, Anne loved Waitman, though you refused to see it.
Yes, thou art gone, and nevermore thy sunny smile shall gladden me. But I may pass the old church door and pace the floor that covers thee, may stand upon the cold, damp stone and think that frozen lies below the lightest heart that I have known, the kindest I shall ever know.
My dears, this is a sad, anxious ending of the year for you. I can only hope that by the time you get home...
Madame, another letter came this morning. We are too late to see my aunt alive.
My poor children. My heart goes out to you. You know how genuinely we value you.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. Shall we not see Monsieur? It's impossible to go without saying goodbye.
Yes, of course, my dear. He is just finishing a letter to your father. Ah, here he is now.
You're waiting to leave. I am sorry. Sorry to delay you, and sorry to let you go. But you will be back for the new year, will you not? Well, I have put it to your father that you will have a salary for teaching English and music and continue your own studies free of charge. We very much wish it. You have been such inquiring and diligent pupils. We feel for you, I tell him. Almost though you were our own daughters.
Our aunt is dead, monsieur. It
Hélas.
will not be possible for me to return. I hope my father will want me to act as housekeeper for him in her place.
But I must come back, monsieur. I must come back. It's important to me. It means so much to me that you and Madame Heger should want me here. More than I can say.
Then it is less than goodbye, Mademoiselle Charlotte.
Thank you.